Hello everyone! So today I have another spiritual video for you. A lot of you guys really liked the last video, and when I say that a lot of you, actually the video didn't get that many views, but I got such a huge response rate to keep going. I'm like, right, people like it. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm very bubbly. Today Leia's at playgroup, so I got to get all of my exercise done first thing in the morning. That is like insanely awesome for me. Yeah, so what we're going to be doing today is, I think we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. We're going to pull a tarot, and I've decided I pull tarot cards or oracle cards pretty much every single day. I want to make this series a weekly series. Hopefully I can stick to that. If not, we will do our best and we will pull a card for the week. We'll kind of make ourselves like a little spiritual gathering every week, and we will have sort of a positive affirmation or something we need to learn from every week from a card we pull. So everybody who's watching this video, the card's not just for me, but it's for everybody watching this video. I've got all my favorite things out. I've got my journal, which I haven't journaled in yet. I've got my planners, and I'm going to be making my to-do list for the day. I've got my Ormus, which I have yet to take, and I'm excited to do a review on this. I'm not going to give away too much right now, but I've been taking it for a week. The differences have been absolutely staggering. I'm PMSing right now. I can't say I haven't felt an ounce of it. I had a few snaps at my partner, but not too many. It's almost like I'm not even PMSing right now. It's crazy. I've got my Violet Flame Alchemist, which I actually already sprayed, and I've also got a perfume which I made. So I've started working a lot more with my essential oils. I've got my citrine crystal here. Now, citrine is a crystal that is meant to kind of clear of any negative energy. This crystal kind of follows me from room to room. This video is also going to be announcing the Blissful Book Club that I'm starting. I don't know if that's what I'm going to call it for sure yet. Let me know if you guys have any better names. Just leave them below, some ideas. So I thought it would be fun. I have a Danielle Beauty Bliss Facebook page, which I basically never use. So I thought that I could start a book club on there so I can suggest a monthly book. I think this is a really great way to get inspiration. I love when YouTubers that I love watching do this because, you know, after some months you have a lot of inspiration and ideas if you're looking for a new book to read. This month's book I think should appeal to a lot of you guys, my followers, especially for those of you who have been following me for quite some time. You know that I am into aromatherapy, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys may have even started following me because of my DIYs and because of aromatherapy. Here is what this month's book is. It is The Fragrant Mind by Valerie Ann Werwood. Now, I will say that I have cheated and I have already started, but it doesn't really matter. We can all do this at our own pace. I'm going to basically post a picture of this on the Facebook page, give some feedback as to what parts I have read and what parts and what my feedback is on it, what I've learned. You know, post a few of my favorite quotes from the book. I'm a bit of a slow reader anyway, so it kind of is good that I kind of got a head start anyways, because I'm actually reading a lot of other books for my doula certification right now, so this is like more of my hobby book. And also, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed, I have a bit of an eye coordination issue, so it makes it sometimes difficult for me to read. Like sometimes I kind of skip spaces, and yeah, it's a little bit annoying. And then once the month is over, I will give a full review of what I thought of this book, as well as announce what March's book will be, and this is February's book. Now, I will say this about the book. I would recommend whipping out a dictionary and whipping out Google even sometimes, because unless you have a scientific background, you might have a difficult time reading some of the names in here and fully understanding what is going on. And though I do love science stuff, I do not have a proper education from my high school. I have got to say I've had pretty poor quality education. In California, you kind of just get by with your diploma. A lot of people do, and that's what I did, which was a huge mistake. You just kind of get by doing the least you can possibly do to get that diploma, and that was kind of me. I basically didn't have biology, I didn't have chemistry, I had a general science class, and that's all I needed to get my diploma, which is just ridiculous. But this has really inspired me to do a lot of my own research and learn. Like, I feel like I'm properly learning things now. So this book has been really fantastic for that, but I will tell you now, if you are not interested in chemistry or biology, you may not like this, but you know, you can skip through parts if you need. Like, you don't have to read it page by page, word for word, but that is what I'm doing right now because I just love it, and the way it's written is just brilliant. So I will go ahead and read you through some of the chapters that I have read so far. So we have chapter 1, The History of Drugs. So this chapter was all about how essentially people who are in the medical field, a lot of them, they are pretty against the idea of plant medicine, but when it comes down to it, it really doesn't make any sense that they should be, because essentially all drugs on the market are inspired from plants and nature. It's just people have taken down the properties, the healing properties in plants. They've made it so that they can put sort of legal rights on it. So like they've tried to recreate it in a lab, but only taking, you know, certain chemicals from the plant to get the effect basically from it. So there's a lot of talk about how essentially all medicine is inspired from the healing properties that nature already has. The most interesting thing that I learned was aspirin is actually found from the willow tree. I remember actually when I was a child, it made me think of Pocahontas when she gives John Smith something from Grandmother Willow's bark. And I was like, that's what she gave him. She gave him aspirin for the pain. Next up, we have essential oils and the mind. Here she goes a lot into sort of the anatomy of our sense of smell. Basically, if you don't know anything about aromatherapy or essential oils, it's a really good chapter to really tell you what they are, how they work, how they were created, how they work on the mind. And that's basically, she has 3 different books, but this one is strictly focused. I wouldn't say strictly focused, but it's more of a mindful book, you know what I mean? Because she has also the Fragrant Pharmacy, which is more about the medicinal effects, but she does have stuff in here about that as well. I don't know for sure what it's called, but I think it's like maybe something like the Fragrant Spirit. I think it's more about the spiritual effects of aromatherapy, but she does have stuff like that in here as well, already in the first like 80 pages that I've read. There's a lot of talk in here about stress and anxiety and how unnatural our lives are today, and that is why so many people do struggle with stress and anxiety, because we just do not live in the kind of environment we were designed to. We were co-created with nature, and we are living in little boxes of solitude basically these days, you know, not connecting enough amongst each other, not enough amongst the plants. And there's really interesting research about smells and the effect they have on the mood, our ability to learn quicker. There's a lot about why kids are struggling so much in the education system, because it's just so strict. There's, you know, a lot of sitting around in a classroom, and really kids were meant to be outside exploring in nature, and they had these smells, these aromas, these textures, these experiences. So the more you can keep your kids in nature, the better, and the faster they will learn for sure. A good smelling store is more likely to sell products. It's just really, really interesting and fascinating. You can really use aromatherapy to your disposal. There's already been some talk about synthetics and how they cannot properly replicate essential oils in a lab because they are just far too dynamic. Nature is way too intricate for that. So that is what this month's book club is all about. I will, you know, I will write a little post on my blog and maybe post it on my Facebook page, and we will discuss it throughout the month together. Definitely be sure to check that out on Danielle Beauty Bliss. I may even update in a couple of weeks on how things are going. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. So I think without further ado, we will pull a card for the week. Throughout time as well, we may start even drawing a few cards, like we'll start asking questions. Maybe if you guys have some ideas of structures you would like me to do with the cards, we will do that. Just see which one feels right for everyone. It's a little bit intense pulling a card for everyone. I've never done this before. I've done it for my husband. I've pulled a couple of cards for him before and they've been pretty accurate. So let's see. You guys can let me know if this like really feels like it suits you. Ooh, here's what we got. We got Carnation. This, I've actually been working with this a lot in perfumery lately. This is really beautiful. We got very warm colors here. Maybe write down in the comments what this is making you feel, what you think it could be about. Yeah, so this is an incredibly warm card. As you can see, this woman, she looks like she is totally hypnotized and like she's almost completely surrendered is kind of what I'm getting. All right, Carnation, we have Rebirth. Carnation's magical specialties: beauty, heart healing, longevity, love, perspective, rebirth, and vigor. Whether you realize it or not, you are in the midst of a very powerful and positive transformation. In some very real way, you and your life circumstances are being reborn. Okay, well this is totally accurate for me right now. I don't know how you guys are feeling. And the object of your inquiry has something to do with this shift. In reality, nothing ever ends. Everything simply transforms from one state to another. Letting go of the old always makes room for the new. When one door closes, another opens. And the bitterest challenges can be exactly the things that allow us to fully savor life's sweetest blessings. There is activity around you, and there is also activity within you in the forms of thoughts, feelings, and judgments. But if you take a moment to tune in, can you see that there is something behind all of that? An awareness that observes and allows. Can you notice an open, empty consciousness that does not identify with the time, space, or ego? When you connect with this 0-point field of your being, you can allow the rebirthing process to flower in the most beautiful way. You won't grasp and you won't judge. Or if you do, you will be able to allow even that with humor and forgiveness. When you notice your thoughts struggling, worrying, or getting obsessive, don't fight them. Smile at them. Step back from them and let them spin out and run their course without giving them any extra energy. So this has been a huge part of my practice because I'm just so into mindfulness right now and meditation. Like I've been researching workshops that I can do. It's something I really want to learn about. I've read a book called Mindful Birthing, and a lot about mindfulness and meditation. A lot of people struggle because they feel like they're failing when their mind starts wandering off. When really, if you can just listen to those thoughts, let them pass, it's completely natural. The mind, it's like its own entity. A thought wants to grow. It's just its nature. Instead of letting it consume you, the whole idea of mindfulness is to just let the thoughts go through, let them pass. Do not judge them. Don't give them too much attention or they're going to take over. That's been a huge learning lesson for me. And a big part of mindfulness is not just completely clearing your mind or meditation. It is just allowing your thoughts to drift. Understanding that you are not your mind, you are not your thoughts. It's part of this whole physical life experience. However, deep down we are all a consciousness. This is the mindset that will transform your challenges into fertile compost and let your transformation blossom forth in all its glory. The following ideas and messages may apply to your present situation. Notice any that particularly call out to you as you read. So I'm going to read you guys some positive affirmations and feel free to jot down any that is your favorite and that call to you the most. I feel like this part might be the most useful part of the whole thing because I'm pretty sure there should be at least one for everybody that somebody can carry with them throughout the week or that they resonate with. What you thought was a tragedy was simply a transformation from one state to another. Surrender to change and embrace the process. You are undergoing a positive rebirthing process, and the divine is currently infusing you with great physical and spiritual power. Your current changes will ultimately prove to be positive in very important ways. Your seeming challenges are sowing the seeds of great blessings. Allow yourself to fully feel your feelings, but do not attach or identify with them. Release the old to make room for the new. This situation relates to a past life, relationship, issue, or challenge. Get a past life regression. Obviously, I understand that some of you guys don't believe in past lives and all that kind of thing, so, you know, take what you feel inspirational and just leave the rest. So we're going to talk again about past lives. I know some of that might be a touchy subject to some of you. So here's another one. Get a past life regression or listen to a past life regression meditation according to release the past and gain clarity on the present. Spend time with carnation. So at the end of every single one in this Magic of Flowers deck, it really recommends that you spend time with the plant, and it gives you some recommendations of how you can do that. So spend time with carnation. Inhale the scent, bring carnation into your garden, or take a homeopathic flower essence remedy. So this time of year, I think the homeopathic remedy might be the cheapest way to experience carnation. Carnation Absolute is quite pricey, so if you want to inhale the aroma, you don't have to spend that much money. Maybe buy like a 1 milliliter vial at the most because it's very expensive. I would recommend smelling it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's one of the most intoxicating of the absolutes that I have ever smelled. Obviously, you can try to spend time with the plant as well, but this time of the year it's a little bit on the tricky side. I know a lot of you guys aren't into homeopathy. I'm not even sure how I stand on it quite yet. But I can tell you it's not gonna hurt. I know that some of you guys did get this deck based on the comment section. So, you know, have this kind of somewhere where you can see it, and it will be the card for the week. Or you can choose your own card for the week, of course. I don't have to control you guys. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this little thing. Let's do our Ormus. I'm gonna go ahead and set my intention for the day. All right, you guys, I hope you have an amazing weekend and an amazing week. And let me know anything you guys want in the comments. Check out Danielle Beauty Bliss Facebook page. There definitely will be an announcement of the book on the Facebook page. So, all right, I will talk to you guys very soon.